that, you know, with higher attendances and income from players, that, you know, we should go into next season with a decent surplus. Well, despite the income from some player sales and some windfalls during the season, we won't be going into next season with any carryover. You can see on the chart in front of you, on the left-hand side, the costs, and on the right-hand side, the income. The red bars is where we budgeted, and, you know, this main football area performing last season. Another question that's come up to me and a number of few days, the budget in our youth. Okay, so for the football club that we've got certainty of income in that area going forward for the season, but there isn't a windfall there that helps us with that £200,000 gap. So where does that leave us? Well, where it leaves us is long term. We firmly believe that we can turn the racecourse into a profit. It's not the case in year one, and we've protected the first team budget, but we've got a £200,000 gap that we've got to close, and we'll have our lease fee due, as communicated at the SGM to Glyndŵr, of £100,000 due on the 1st of September 2016. So, what's our plan? What's the three-step plan for us to address that? Okay, you will have seen this slide at the SGM for those of you that were there. Step number one for My Racecourse is generate breathing space. So we need to get cash business and starting to turn that business around. Secondly, that fills the racecourse daily. We can no longer be thinking 23 home games 365 days a year. A gap of 200,000 is an equivalent to an extra £550 profit out of the racecourse every day in the season, every single day. So it's not an insubstantial challenge. Okay. Once we've done that and we've filled up the racecourse daily, it's then all about strengthening the club financially. Okay, in generating that breathing space, one of the calls that we did as a trust and football club board at the SGM was to appeal to fans and say, please get behind our My Racecourse campaign, help us. These are some of the types of things that you can do, and we shared a number of things. And I'm absolutely delighted and humbled to say a massive thank you to fans and what they've contributed and done so far. You can see at the top of this slide, we've had donations of almost £2,500 in, and that has included a single donation of somebody brought a cheque to Dawn of £500 plus. We've had one lady who brought into the trust shop on a match day. She just had her birthday and she brought a whole £150 money that she'd had for her birthday and donated it to the cause, as well as lots of smaller donations to take us up to that almost 2,500 figure. Our media team have been helping. In our first week, we drove over 1,000 Twitter followers of the new My Racecourse account. And in the first week, we got over 1,600 likes, or the equivalent of Twitter followers, on Facebook for the My Racecourse account, which will set us up when we're ready to go in the future. Standing orders. Standing orders are really important to the trust and club membership. What standing orders do is they give us certainty of income. Okay, when you talk to any charities or any not-for-profits similar to the trust, what they say is if you can get people to adopt a standing order, people stay with you year after year, and we really want to get people, as many as possible, onto standing order. But I was blown away in the last 6 weeks in the response to that. Generous Wrexham fans, over 104 people, have either joined via standing order or increased their standing order, which will make per year income, which is fantastic. And then we said, come along to the My Racecourse game versus Braintree, and any income that we can generate over and above budgeted figures we would add to the amount. So we've put in there a plug of £5,000 for that. Even though, having a fantastic crowd of almost 4,500 for the game, which was almost effectively a dead rubber, was just incredible. So when you add all that together, it's brilliant, it's fantastic, we can't thank you enough, but it gets us to £14,000. So that £200,000 target and generating that breathing space is still a long way off. Look, we can get some confidence in the finances going into next season. Long and hard about season ticket and match day prices, and as a result of that debate, we decided that the most important thing for supporters was us retaining a competitive and having a shot at promotion back to the Football League. So one of the measures that we need to take is to we will prices. This is around £1 for the ground. Okay, so that's the way in which we want you to think about it. That £1 additional to help us generate income to bridge that £200,000 gap comes from. It's the first increase in 4 years. First full season in charge. I think I'm right in saying we actually dropped the prices in our affected the family ticket prices, families and getting families into this ground, building the fans of the future, vital and important to us. So we protected family ticket prices, and there'll be no 11 ticket. Now, I can hear social media problems. Is this the right thing to do? Prices up. We'll put it quite simply and bluntly, is that an argument to say don't put prices up this season, in the circumstances we're in, when we haven't had an increase for 4 years, would be budget. And we really believe that that isn't what the large majority of our... Think about the pound for the ground and what that means for matchday prices. Remember, we do have an advanced ticket sale. So what you pay to get into the stadium today on a match day, you can still get that same price if you purchase in advance the day before, or the week before, or the 2 weeks before when we get it set up on the system. So you can still get in for the same price as you did last season. You just need to be a little bit more organised in order to do it. So where does that leave us? Where do we benchmark in terms of cost of our season tickets? Well, our offer the best and most atmospheric stadiums in the division, and our season ticket offer remains highly competitive. I've pulled up the league table of costs from last season. So all of the prices that you see in here are the teams, what they were charging last season. This is as was published on the BBC website, so anybody can go into the BBC website and find exactly the same information, because they do an annual survey. But what I've done is I've put the Wrexham prices post what it will be in the coming 2016-17 season. And what you see from that is actually based before any other team, there may be others increasing, we would still be in only 13th position, despite us having and far less than some of the other teams that you top end of the table next season, and still below a team 13 miles of whose name I shall not mention. Okay, so what does that mean for us doing that? Well, last season we had 2,300 season ticket holders. Proud of many teams in this division, and it's an absolute amazing amount for National League level football, and we don't want to lose a single season ticket holder into next season. We want to get more season ticket holders next. For some people, times are really tough. going into next season about our financial position for the season. The additional income, so if we kept the same mix of season tickets at that 2,300 level with the pound for the grand increase, that would bring in an additional £32,000 to the football club. We're really hoping that people will get behind us and will get behind My Racecourse. Longer term, we believe this ground will generate additional income for us, and I'm going to share with you shortly some ideas and initial thoughts that we've got about how we can do that. From a season ticket basis, we always get asked on a daily basis. You know, I get people asking me via Twitter and other mediums every day, how many season tickets have we sold? How many season tickets have we sold? Well, Jeff and the retail team and the ticket team are going to have a visual board in the club shop, which will be updated daily, which will show how many season tickets we've sold on a daily basis. And we will update you daily by taking a picture and tweeting that out to everybody. So we really want people to get after that 2,300 target and see if we can take it beyond what was an astounding amount last season. So when will season tickets go on sale? Well, you can purchase your season ticket from tomorrow. The brochures are with the printers. We should have the brochures back late tomorrow or Thursday, and they'll be dropping on your mat in very short order. But if you feel inclined to do so, you can come into the club shop and renew season tickets from tomorrow. Okay, the second part of our strategy was build an offer which fills the racecourse daily. We held a big ideas meeting on Sunday the 8th of May, just a couple of Sundays ago, and we had 20 plus people here from all types of backgrounds. So we deliberately targeted different skills and people who would bring some insight and knowledge to what we've currently got to help bring the racecourse to life. So we had an architect, we had a procurement director, we had builders, we had people with a range of skills from business, as well as some members of the current racecourse team who will come across as our employees in due course. So it was a really well received day. The energy was fantastic. We did a stadium tour to really get our ideas flowing about what could be possible in the stadium, and then we spent half a day brainstorming. It was great engagement with some great people who joined and some sponsors, and I'd like to share with you what we came up with in that session. Okay, so we looked at ideas in 3 different areas. Area number 1, how do we maximise match day? How the pound that our fans have got to spend doesn't go down to Woking because it gets spent in Wetherspoons. How do we get that pound spent in Wrexham Football Club at the racecourse ground? So maximising and new revenue streams. So maximising match day, as well as what I've talked about, how do we use facilities, event games, how do we tailor packages for different incomes, what sponsorship opportunities might there be out there. Maximising non-match day, what can we do in terms of conferencing, what can we do in parties, celebrations, how can we get the racecourse bars being used 7 days a week, and what in-season events can we run to get people using the racecourse and see the racecourse as a prime venue to visit in Wrexham. The third area was new revenue streams. So how can we develop the racecourse in the future? How can we involve businesses? How can we sell to business and generate income from large-scale off-season events? So those were the types of things that we were looking at. and we came out and had two core principles in mind. The first is we want there to be a visible and noticeable difference in matchday experience from the first game of next season. Secondly, any of the ideas that we take forward need to make and must make a significant contribution to the My Racecourse running costs shortfall. So with that in mind, just to put a health warning on some of the ideas thus far, these are a result of the brainstorming session. Some of these will be viable when we do the business case analysis and return on investment. Some of them may not here, but just to give you an idea of what could be possible. So the Gus bar, or the for people using the Gus stand, as I understand it in the Gus bar, it's very, very small. The food outlet on our idea is to create an exciting, appealing sports bar, loud, noisy bar that gets the 12th man fired up before the game and at half-time to roll the team on to success. And proposals are being considered as we speak. Christmas, the racecourse is an ideal venue, and your boss is considering taking people out for a Christmas party. Why not use the racecourse? We've got some great facilities between the Centenary Club, Bamford's and the 1873 suite. We should be able to cater in the day and in the evening. So if you've got a business and you're considering, because I know a lot of people at this type of year start to turn towards their Christmas party and thinking, where am I going to book it? Please, I'd implore you to get in touch with Phil Bennett at the racecourse or Natalie Garbett and get your Christmas party interest registered at the racecourse ground. President's Club, could we tailor a package for people at the relevant price point who want to pay more to come and enjoy football with some additional, high spend elements, potential use of non-match day facilities. Okay, of course, and just an idea of this. Centenary Club. The Centenary Club. I know I did the stadium tours last year, and as part of the pre-season open event. And as people got into the Bamford suite, we were telling people all about the Bamfords and how great it was and how it was an unknown hidden gem of the football club. And we were getting around 40 to 50 people a game. That started to go exclusive club for an elite. It was for everybody. And then Jeff, with absolutely full stuffed capacity, with well in excess of 100 people per game. The Centenary Club is, we believe, a similar, or could be a similar, hidden secret of the football club. As it was done out, it's a brilliant venue, but can we make the Centenary Club a definitive medium-sized gig venue for North Wales? It's got a capacity of 500, so any of you will be coming to the pre-Euro night over the bank holiday weekend, and please buy your tickets. There's a brilliant lineup organised by the WST Fundraising Committee. We believe that when you come to that night, when you see what it can do, there is a real untapped market in Wrexham for that 500 capacity gig venue. Currently the biggest in Wrexham is 250 in Central Station, and if we can make this work, and we do have some great links through some members of the board and some friends of the football club to get some great acts, then the ticket revenue, bar revenues in an already set up venue should set us up for success. Physio at the racecourse. We've got superb physio facilities here at the racecourse, and from a Monday to Friday and a Sunday, in fact, all bar 23 games, match days a season, our physiotherapy facilities aren't being used. Could we get those used and rented out to some local business or other? And many more. We would like, the ultimate meeting space, big summer gigs. We've got the Stereophonics Glendower will have here this summer. What can we do next year? Post-match highlights. So we have to produce post-match highlights after a game. Can we share and get those on screens around the ground to keep people in the stadium so they can see the goals immediately after the game or shortly after and enjoy a post-match pint with us rather than in town? And to resell things on to people, whether that be facility, gas and electricity and utilities. Massive floodlights to good effect with mobile masts. In-concourse advertising. So, we've got some great space. We bring 4,500 people into the stadium 23 plus times a year in a certain demographic. Can we make use of that? Could we have a bookies inside the stadium? Kids' parties? Can we do serviced offices from the racecourse ground? So those are the types of ideas. Some will go forward, some may not, but there's many more being discussed in addition. So 20 plus of us who sat around to come up with that. Hopefully there'll be some great ideas that are out in our ownership, or in people who may not be an owner today but could be an owner tomorrow, to maximise income from the racecourse. We're just tweeting out a link to where you can lodge your ideas. But if you go onto the WST website, you'll find the My Racecourse symbol, and if you click on that, you'll be able to find where you can enter your ideas. As well as entering ideas, there are a small number of us and a small number of we will need additional people to help bring them all to fruition. So if you've got an idea, you've got the capability to move that idea through to a business case and through to a completed new way of working for Football Club. So, closing comments before I take a sit down and we open for questions to any of us here. Effectively, you now own the oldest international football stadium anywhere in the world. Okay? We need to generate, and we've been absolutely clear, we need to generate some breathing space. We've got a track record of turning around a business. We believe we can do the same again. We've got some good staff coming across. We've got some good staff already with us. We've had to make a tough call. We've had to make a tough call with season tickets, but we all firmly believe that the future for this football club and this stadium is a bright one and a very exciting one. And together, that collectively, we can do this. The final comment from me would be, we're appealing to all fans. Times are tough for some people. If you can, please purchase a season ticket. And with your season ticket, you'll make some great savings on your match day price. We would love to beat 2,300 season tickets this season. We'd love your support, and we'd love to do that and go into next season with a lot of confidence. And on those season ticket sales, we will update you daily on progress. So from that, we're going to go to questions. So we'll take any questions from the room first, and then I'm going to pass over to Cal and Jamie to talk us through any questions that we might have online. Any questions from the room? No?
Shall I get us going with an online one?
Yeah.
Keep the excuses phone. So I'll start with one that's actually been asked about 2 or 3 times, but I noted it from Neil first, who says that there was £100,000 from Liverpool.
As I presented on the slide, budget versus outcome. So how much did we budget? How much did we get outcome in terms of where does that net out versus our budget? We're going to more or less break even, or more or less meet our budget. It would be the effective way of saying it. Come June the 30th. This isn't an AGM. There's still a couple of months to go, so I don't want to speak too soon on that. And Mark will give that update when we have our club AGM and we've got audited accounts. But the 100 or the money that we received for Danny Ward is part of that making the budget from last season, so there won't be any carryover from that into next season. Yeah. So most of that will have gone to the youth department.
Okay. Another question from Adam is, why not seek some outside investment to help us out?
We've never ruled out outside investment, and anybody who's ever approached us, we've always met. We've never received a firm offer of outside investment, and we've never refused an offer of outside investment.
Mark asks a really basic question, but one that a few people have asked as well. What are the prices and how are we going to be releasing them, for example?
The prices, as Spencer said in his presentation, the prices booklet is going out shortly this week. It's with the printers as we speak, and we'll be releasing them later on with the full prices on the website, so fans will be able to see them later on this evening. But I'd probably reiterate what Spencer said. There has been an increase to the future success of the club. As when we took over, there was a big gap between the age demographic of people, which we're slowly trying to build up back as the years progress under our ownership.
The questions come in, why don't we sell the stand names and can we change the name of the stadium?
If anybody out there is interested in sponsoring a stand, then we will be all ears, and our commercial manager Jeff Scott is the person to contact. So if there's any businesses or individuals who would be interested in stand sponsorship, put the phone.
And just to reiterate on that, when they receive the brochures and the prices, they'll realise that the stand behind the goal has been known as a tech end for next season as it stands today. So that gives you an idea that all the stands are now open for sponsorship when we take over on August 1st.
Okay. An answer from Dan is, will Club or Trust Ball?
I very much hope so. I think let's see how the Stereophonics works, and how that pans out for the university. But I see no reason why we wouldn't do that again in the future.
Okay, on YouTube, Shandyman. It's a great name, that one, isn't it? Will fans get a discount for getting their season tickets early? You didn't think it was made clear.
Yes. So there will be an early bird. The deadline on that, Mark, is
June the 8th is the deadline.
Someone else has asked, can't we increase the prices a bit more? He doesn't like being below Chester.
That's what I tell you.
It's great,
that's the question of the night. Look, if people want to make a donation as they purchase their season ticket, fantastic. If that helps them get above Chester, then that would be just great.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions still coming in. Someone's asking about where the Vose money's gone now. If there's any money for Dominic Vose.
So all of the transfer income, so in that chart that we showed with budget versus income, and you saw that we had more income than we projected from a football perspective, and we also spent more on football than we'd expected as well.
We're just trying up at the minute. Let's see. Be us.
Okay.
Online, yeah.
Any other questions from the room?
Oh yeah, there's sorry, there is one. There are starting to come through. Has Gary Mills been given any budget to bring players in yet?
Don, do you want to answer that one?
Yes.
It's a simple one, isn't it?
The answer is yes.
I think that what they're getting at there is obviously they feel that there's a delay bringing in players at the minute.
No delay whatsoever. Gary was given his budget some weeks ago. He has that budget and he's in the process of spending it.
Southern on YouTube says, "Do we get any money from the Stereophonics?"
No.
Brian's asking, "Do we have a clause on the Louis Malt deal to Motherwell?"
Yes, we do.
We do. And another one's coming in. Do we have a shirt sponsor yet?
Yes, I don't think we're in a position to announce it quite yet, but I'm sure we will be over the coming days.
Bit of a dual question. Actually, no, I won't take that one. Is Gary Mills restricted to offering one-year deals? I know this is outside the box of what we're talking about tonight, but it has been asked about 3 times.
Yeah. Barry, I don't know if you
There's no specific restriction, no.
No.
The nature of, I've said this many times, the nature of where we are in terms of the league, the nature of the type of player we're going to be signing, it's unlikely that we'll be offering 2-year deals, but there's no formal restriction, no.
Okay.
We have done in the past several times whilst we've been in this division.
Paul Matthias asking, any sign of a stadium sponsor? Has anything like that popped up?
I don't know if Jeff wants to answer that. Nothing that we could announce or say at the moment. What I would say is, as I said a few moments before, is that if there is somebody, a business out there interested in stadium sponsorship or stand sponsorship, Jeff will be more than delighted to take your call.
I think the thing to add about sponsorship, it doesn't need to be or the stand. We want stadium sponsorship. We understand the historic significance of the name of the racecourse, so I would like to assure fans that we would never ever dream of changing that name. We know how much it means to them, so it would always be the Racecourse Stadium, supported or sponsored by whatever. But if anyone should have an idea that's not obvious, then, as Spencer has said, don't rule out coming to us for a package that suits your particular business. We will listen to all considerations.
There's another one. The last one, probably from online, will be with the Stereophonics gig money going to the university. Will the university be paying for any repairs or any damage that's caused during that night?
Yes, so the university have to put the pitch back, and there's plans in place to do so. What it does mean, the Stereophonics will mean that we won't be able to have any home pre-season friendlies, so we've had to come to an arrangement with the university due to the fact pre-season friendlies at the racecourse, which we've done. There's one at the back.
Yeah, I might have missed something over the last few months, Spencer, but are the rugby clubs still alive and kicking?
Yeah, they're still playing. They played here recently, Geraint.
Yes, yeah, they were at York last week.
Yeah.
So are they here next year, basically? You know, which year?
They've made an initial contact with us to set up an agreement to be in place and to continue playing at the Racecourse. So that's something we have to put in place from the 1st of August. But obviously that a lot depends on when we know we're going to get the pitch back, because they don't know what their fixtures are for the remainder for the summer months yet. So it's a bit hard to commit for this season, because A, we don't know the state of the pitch, or B, when their games will be played. But they have approached us, and that will take place now that we're in a position to actually sign the lease. Because until we sign that document, we don't have the controls, not going to come over to us yet, even though we've agreed heads of terms. So it is in place for them to come over to continue at the Racecourse.
Any others come?
There are, but someone's asking, Danny Williams is asking where are we going to be training next season?
We're still hoping that we'll be at College Park, but there are contingency plans in place, but it's not beyond the realm of possibility at all that we'll still be at College Park.
Okay.
Okay, well, just thanks to everybody who's tuned in. Thank you very much to the guys from the supporters groups, and Rich Williams from the leader for coming along this evening. Hopefully you've enjoyed hearing the update direct from the boardroom and from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Season ticket sales go on sale tomorrow. Let's smash that 2,300 if we can. Thank you.
Never want to miss a plug. Can I also say that we have Macron leisure wear now on sale, and we will have we also have Euro branded t-shirts for your trip to France. I hope you all have a great time. And I'm watering plants, and we'll have kit, the new Macron kit, earlier than we've ever had kit before. So a great opportunity to buy early and boost our funds nice and early.
Okay, thanks guys.
Okay.
Are we still on?
Nope, we're
No,
done.
great. Thanks all.
We don't have any listening.
How many?
Let's have it shortly when I check it.
Just if you use sorry? Well, I'm just saying
That's why we're likely
Yeah.
So I guess if like I guess for the language people, so your answers have been, your questions have been answered. Just watch the video back as well.
Yeah.
Quite a few positives. Yes.
We did have a few issues. It was off and on. Facebook didn't work very well. We got that.
Is it all saved?
Yeah, it should be. Just checking that from that.
How many people do you think we are?
Just trying to.